From Detroit, it's Coffee and Chocolate.
All right, welcome back to Vampire of New York. Welcome back to Vampire the Masquerade Reckoning of New York. This is Patrick's story. We already played through it once, so we're coming back and playing it from Patrick's perspective, learning a few different things along the way. Patrick has been asked to go ahead and meet up with Torque, the leader of the Anarchs in the Bronx, while Callie is split off and is going to this nightclub called Empire the Sun. So let's push play. Night 2. The Friend. Spinfluence. The constant interruptions vex me no end. How can I keep an eye on Callie when there's always another trivial demand on my attention? This time, it's Turk's call that I must answer. Bronx, Spinfluence. Night 2. This isn't the first time I've been invited to see Turk at his brewery. Seems like a rather casual place, hipster even, as I've heard some of the younger call it. But appearance can most definitely be deceiving. I have taken part in casual, borderline friendly meetings here, but most of them, in fact, were about waging war. Or avoiding it. Tonight something seems off about the place. Mia is prominently absent. How devastating. But the security around Torque has definitely been heightened. Is he expecting some kind of attack? I mean, beyond the baseline threats, of course. When I walk in, he is leaning on a snooker cue, staring silently out the window. I know he's aware of my arrival, although he neither turns around nor speaks. It seems that it falls to me to expedite the meeting. The powers that be never understand the value of time. You wanted to see me, so here I am. So you can show up on the dot if you want to. No troublemakers on your path this time, huh? I refuse to take the bait. None. I do need to hurry back, though. I can sense the Raven's eagerness to fly away, especially with nobody to keep an eye on her. Torque finally turns around to face me, eyebrows raised in confusion. Why didn't you bring her along, then? Box. I should have known it was just Sorrento, making unlife difficult for me. I can't exactly say that out loud, of course, so I just shrug helplessly. But before I can fabricate some rationale, Torque has already moved on. How is the investigation going? Any luck smoking Cassell out from whatever foxhole he crawled into? Not yet. We have a few leads. He tilts his head in consideration. Do you believe the girl's complicit in Cassell's dirty work? She's got a real talent for trickery, that one. Well, I have known her for a grand total of one night, so this opinion may be unfounded, but she's either an innocent, an unwitting cover for Cassell, or she's one of the best actresses I've seen in a long time. And I know she can act. But it's hard to believe that she could be that good. I see. Well, I'd say that we should hope she is, for her own sake, but we all know guilt and innocence hardly matter in the Council's eyes. Warp and reality to support their claims is far more important to them. I just nod silently. I have nothing to add. Is that why you wanted me here? To discuss the Raven? Don't be ridiculous. He tosses me a snooker cue. You can keep track of scores while I deliver your rebuke. Ah, here we go again. Your tardiness yesterday night was a really bad move, Patrick. I'd understand fashionably late, but that was a straight-up display of weakness. And you know how I feel about displaying weakness in front of the Council. He takes a few skillful shots before missing one of the balls by a hair. A seasoned player. But so am I. Avoiding surveillance isn't a weakness, it's a matter of safety. It's a matter of respect, or the lack of it, when you show up so late while sheltered by my shadow. Despite the value of your insight to both the Camarilla and the Anarchs, and to me most of all, your recent behavior reflects poorly on our relationship. What he says makes enough sense to throw him off from the game. I bungle a shot miserably and step away from the table. I apologize. But may I speak frankly? You may. You consider my late arrival a show of weakness, but this caution of yours, if we're sensitive or not, that isn't for me to decide. It's the kind of behavior that makes you appear weak. I've heard some whispers among the Anarchs that maybe they don't need a Baron after all. Torque hits the ball with more strength than required. They think I'm weak because I'm not trying to show off in front of the Council to make us feel superior to the ivory tower. I'm not weak. I'm pragmatic. This song and dance is about appearing confident and stalwart enough for the Camarilla to shut up and listen for once. Maintaining good relations with them has thus far only benefited the Anarchs. I hate acting like I'm trying to ingratiate myself with them. Believe me, I do. But it works. He's so right. Never fails. Baron of Barons. This time, one spin to the ring is enough to silence the voices, but the message is troubling. I position myself perfectly and take a few precise shots, earning myself a nice handful of points. Turk's face falls. How do you believe other Anarchs view this perspective of yours? Torque stands up straight, looking at me with his sharp eyes, and lays down the snooker cue flat on the table. Our little game is over. That is precisely what I want to discuss tonight. I nod. Is this about Mia? Torque's silence is all the confirmation I need. I've been considering removing her from the equation. It is not exactly surprising, but more audacious than I expected. You know there's no love lost between me and Miss Mia Sorrento, but I'd be careful about messing with her. She embodies the Anarch's ideals and holds more sway than you among the lower ranks in the Bronx. And they're not few in number. I'm not blind, Patrick. I'm just trying to look outside the box that currently confines me. For a few seconds, he looks his real age. An old man, squashed beneath the heavy burden of responsibility he tries to balance on his shoulders. But this moment passes as quickly as it came, and then he's back to his 30-something self. From where I stand, everything you do is for the benefit of the anarchs, but they might not see it that way. I believe removing Mia might incite an unnecessary revolt, and it's the last thing we need in these perilous times. Turk inclines his head in contemplation, humming quietly to himself while looking me straight in the eyes. The lack of response paired with that intense gaze makes me decidedly uncomfortable. I can only assume he's waiting for me to continue. You already know my thoughts on this, but I still think if she wanted to overthrow you, she'd act on the idea immediately. She isn't much of a schemer, but rather an impulsive doer, impossible to predict. Which unfortunately means your static position on this chessboard makes victory highly unlikely. She knows all of your available moves while you know nothing about hers. For what it's worth, I do not sense a revolt coming yet. Perhaps she hasn't quite given up on you. Or perhaps... You've given me a lot to think about, Patrick. You may leave now. His end is nigh. He turns away, facing the window with a certain finality. I nod and quietly slink out of the room, wondering how his future will unfold. To any observer, my drive to empire of the sun is silent. The parent of parents shall never fall. Yes, yes, yes. But on the inside, the voices refuse to calm down. What would he ever do without you? The parent to end all parents. Finally a 20. The voices are cut off, as if their throats were sliced. Judging by what they tell me, Torque's end appears to be fast approaching. I would never feel comfortable telling him in case he reacted poorly. Perhaps I should have been firmer in warning him about Sorrento's emissions. I look at the clock on the dashboard. Bollocks! I'm late to meetings far too often these nights. Let's just hope Callie remains true to her word this one time and waits for me at Sonny's. When I cut the last corner before Empire of the Sun, I am already unconscionably late. It'll be a miracle if Callie is still there waiting for me as promised. But I park and catapult her to the car toward the door, and I see she's indeed waiting for me with the Anarch girl Matto mentioned. Or at least, she hasn't wandered off yet. Perhaps I should reevaluate my opinion on Christmas miracles. All I can do is nod curt to hide my discomposure. You're here. That's good. Duh. Told you I'd be here. Yes, that's why I'm surprised. I assumed I'd have to go looking for you in the neighborhood like yesterday, for example. Hey! I never gave my word I'd stick around last time, did I? I rolls my eyes, exasperated. A little over an hour apart, and I've already managed to forget how annoying she can be. The Anarch girl is eyeing me suspiciously, so I return her gaze. Patty meets Skylar. A local Anarch with a knack for alchemy. Skylar, Patty. I regret letting her meet Matto. It's Patrick, actually. Pleased to meet you, Skylar. Skylar nods. I can see the apprehension in her eyes, and I can't help wondering what's made her so wary of others. Perhaps it's me who gives her pause. Don't stress too much. Patrick might be a little uptight, but he's all right. He's just here to offer us a lift, that's all. Yes, I am her driver. She chuckles and pats me cordially on the shoulder. Emotions aren't his strong suit. He's just my friend. who only happens to have a card. The Anarch girl is clearly unamused by Callie's antics. We need to get moving. The meeting place ain't far, but well, night couriers aren't known for their patience. Let's hustle. We're meeting a night courier. I assumed this Skylar would tell us all we needed to know, but a night carrier might be an even better source. I wonder, however, who is this particular courier exactly? Yes, do tell. I don't know. I only know her by the handle. And she always wears a helmet, so... Well, as long as she's clued into Raynor's location, seems like my kind of gal, too. Maybe I should start wearing something on my face, like a cool mask. I fail to see how a mask, cool or otherwise, would help her in her nightly unlife. A gag would be more fitting. Ooh, that would help me. Careful, or I'll gag you instead. She says it lightly, but I can tell by the dangerous twinkle in her eye she's not joking. She and Skylar are not exactly bosom buddies. Skylar gets into the car without another word while Callie nods to herself, clearly satisfied, and turns to me with a smile. Anyway, you done with the torque thing? Yes. She finds my answer suspicious, even though this time I genuinely have nothing interesting to hide. I just look at her, unfazed, until she loses interest. How'd you like Empire of the Sun? Did it feel like home? But she just smiles at me mischievously and flings the passenger door open, while I inadvertently let out a sigh. I really need to work on these mortal habits. It's unbecoming of a kindred my age. Voices of the angels, they see poison, poison into your ears. Heed not, oh, heed not their honeyed words. Liar, liar, kill him, end him. I feel my whole body freeze, seize up inch by inch, molecule by molecule, paralyzed so thoroughly I can't even blink. The peculiar man who was lurking in the background, who approached so quietly I noticed nothing, falls to his knees before me and catches the hem of my trousers. False prophet, blasphemous runt, kill, kill! But that's not why I can't move, of course. It's his insane, unhinged, familiar words that have struck me like lightning and rooted me to the spot. Paddy Waddy kills the runt, kills the runt, kills the runt. I just stare at him, his head thrown back, his misted-over eyes boring blankly into the night sky. He stops screaming, but his lips quiver with faint whispers that fade into the air like smoke. Kill, 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 kill. Dream not in your slumber, for the day star will sear its truth onto your whole being. What are you waiting for, you dumb I want to shake him until all the answers fall out of his pockets. Who are you? What do you know? But I can't. The only thing still vaguely under my command is my hand, twitching, turning, crawling until my fingers close around the cheap plastic of my ring. Spin, spin, and spin. Ever so blind, ever so lost, ever so useless. But I am here. I am here. Patrick? You okay there, buddy? I can barely hear Callie's voice as she extracts me from the man's vice-like grip. It's as if my whole head's underwater. Patience, Finn. Time is yet to come. Patrick, talk to me. What's going on? With Within her lies 8. 20. I finally break the surface. My body is my own once more. I can stop my hands from clutching the ring and hide them in my pockets. I can avoid Callie's eyes, full of confusion and worry. I can speak. I'm fine. Are you sure? What was that all about? The man who grabbed me is nigh catatonic. No chance I'll extract anything useful. Besides, he's probably just a conduit, much like myself. Not worth wasting my time on. I do not know. But let's not fret about it for now. The night courier's waiting. Well, that was a little weird. A little bizarre. A little not quite ready for prime time, I guess. Okay. I think we will call it here for now. Maybe we'll come back a little later today and play a little bit more, but for now, that'll be the end of Reckoning.